Hello and welcome to another Nerdlationships. Is this 10?
Yeah.
Is this 11? Okay.
Yeah, 9 was before. So
okay. So we are at episode 10 and we're gonna talk about nerdy date nights. I think it'll be fun. We also have some people that graciously sent us some pictures, so we'll be talking about that closer to the end of their nerdy dates. But first, I'm Winnie. I am a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber and all the things when I feel like it. I live in Washington D.C. What about you, Cheeto?
I am perpetually single. I live in Ohio, and I love our chats on this. This is definitely the most fun thing I do on the channel right now.
Yeah, same here. So what's new since last time? Do you have any dates that you had? I know you went out the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out. I went to a game night last night, so I mean, doing some fun things, meeting some people, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. So we'll, who knows? You never know. Maybe ScarJo will, come through the roof into my lap.
I hope so. Did you get to see Jurassic Park yet?
No. I know ScarJo couldn't even get me to get out and watch that movie. It just looks so mid. I'm like, God, like right? I don't even want to sully ScarJo's, loveliness with it. So I'll wait till it's on streaming and I'll watch it.
Didn't even know she was in that, and then I'm like, wow, Disney really did her dirties. But anyway, did you get anything cool last week? Stuff goes.
I'm trying to think. No, nothing really cool.
Or
nothing
fun?
Crazy. I had to rip the ceiling out of my shower.
Oh, you finally did that?
Yeah.
That's not fun. That's not fun at all.
Well, I got to find out where this leak is coming from. So that's the only way to do it.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have a little bit of a leak because we live in a basement of a house. Like we rent a basement of a house. It's like fully furnished or fully set up. We have a little bit of a leak because of the sump pump and all the rain we've been getting, and that's annoying right now. But there's nothing we can do about that because of the rain.
Yeah. Real life sucks.
Yeah. I don't want to be an adult anymore. I remember like my childhood and like different parents being like, yeah, we have to deal with this right now, and me, because I'm a kid, just playing my Game Boy like it's fine, and now I'm doing the stuff that they're pissed off about, and I'm like, oh. I understand them now.
Yeah,
it's such a big deal. Let's see, Squez and I went to see fireworks last night in DC. We literally sat like, I don't know, 100 yards away from the Washington Monument, which was really cool. DC is one of my favorite places, as you know. So now that I live here, to actually see fireworks in the land where, our capital is and where people from all over the world come to see is kind of fun. I actually had a MAGA guy help me carry my food back because we were sitting in the same general area and I couldn't carry it all. So that was interesting. It was like the one day that everybody just loves everybody.
Well, and I mean, that's just, MAGA. I mean, again, not everybody is the ultimate evil, like that's one thing that in all of this, and I do agree that MAGA is a cult and everything like that, but like, people are people. There are still good people that have bad views yes. and viewpoints, and like, so, I try to remember that, but at the same time, if you support something that is just clearly as bad as it is, and the world's gone insane, will probably be a little bit later. We'll talk more about that.
It just to me sounds like the cult aspect of it. So they might not agree with most things, but like they've been so indoctrinated that they like can't discern the difference anymore. But yeah, it was fun overall. We laid there and watched the fireworks. They were only 17 minutes this year, which I don't know. I feel like the last time I went, which was 2 years ago, they were like 45. I don't know. So, but that was also different president. But we did see a lot of cool things. The bombers that flew overhead were kind of cool.
Oh, are they finally back from Iran?
Oh, Jesus. World's Gone Insane is, I think, at 4 today, right, Ginger? But yeah, we probably have more than one. Or more than two, I should say. I did see 2 at the same time. So, or like right after the other.
Yeah, Ginger says World Gone Insane will be tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay.
So
I hope they have fun with that. But yeah, we also got we like to do those like model kits where you put things together, and usually they've been like Digimon, but I'm not a Digimon person, so I have no idea what that like once we're done with them, I have no idea what they are. Which is fine. I still enjoy the process of breaking them out of the little frames and putting them together. But we finally got some Pokemon ones, so that's been fun. But they're like a little easier and a little not as nice, if that makes sense. Like not as clean when you're breaking them apart.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
All right. This week we are talking about date nights. And nerdy date nights to be more specific. Cheeto, have you had a date where it's been nerdy? I know your relationships don't tend to be necessarily nerdy.
No, I mean, really, the only nerdy. I mean, like we'll watch a nerdy movie, or something like that. Like we'll watch like a superhero movie, Lord of the Rings, something. Like something like that. But I mean, no, like not any like D&D nights, like D&D date night, or streaming date night, stuff like that. Like, yeah, no,
You didn't do any?
No.
Our very first, what I would call date was, again, I know I've said this before, but him getting on Discord and making Mario 3 a 2-player game and having me make choices and stuff. That I think is our first like real date. And then like while I think we did more like when we were not together, like making sure we were watching movies together and making sure, it's not that we don't do that now, but like once you're in the swing of things, like actual like in life things, it's a little bit different because you just, you see
Things
each
settle down.
yeah. But we've been trying to do model making nights. We've been playing way too much Mario Kart World, which has been fun. Yeah. I'm trying to get him to get Cyberpunk so we can do the online stuff, but I don't know if he will.
I've never had any interest in Cyberpunk, ever.
It's so fun. Like I wanted to play it because I like CD Projekt Red. I got it way back when it came out on the PlayStation, but it was kind of junky. They released
they released that game and it was garbage.
But now that I'm playing it, I don't know if it's because it's just on the Switch and I can take it, and that's more my forte is handheld mode, or they just made it better because it's been years in between. I really love this game. Excuse me.
Well, that'll be fun. As I said, I mean, I never. I wouldn't consider like any not really any nerdy date nights though. I mean, I'm bad at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything can be nerdy. Like my friend said, her one friend goes to her one friend and her husband go to botanical gardens. So I mean, if you really like flowers and you know all this stuff about them, then that's your thing you're nerding out about. So it could be anything, really.
Ginger, we're not supposed to talk about our dates on here.
Oh my God. I'm sure that's true though. I'm very sure that's a true story. Let me see. So let's see. How would you define a nerdy date night?
I mean, just doing like something in the nerdy scope of things, but doing it together, and it's something that both of you like. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be like, oh, we're gonna try. Like, I feel like it can't be just a one and done thing. Like, it can't be just like, oh, we're gonna try this D&D date night, and it's like it kind of need to me. It kind of needs to be consistent. Like, you can do it as a date thing, but like to make it like a date night, and that's date nights are consistent. You know, like people go out to dinner and to a movie like once a month or something like that. You know, and they have kids.
Oh.
But yeah, so I really feel like, you know, like it's got to be something with kind of like mutual interests.
Yes, I agree. And that's, like I said, we do a lot of gaming. Like, we don't necessarily leave the house. He's been picking up a lot of overtime, so it's just like we're exhausted all the time because I always am helping him, making sure he's getting whatever he needs for work, and I'm up at the same time as he is, and all of those things. So we try really hard to just we game, and I don't always like. We played, like I said before, Battletoads, which for me is not a game for me. The game is hard as hell.
It really is.
Still tried. Like, gaming is the thing that we have in common, or the thing, like you were saying, that is in common. But like, we tried different games because he likes those games. For me, I'm like, ooh, like, and then I like have that anxiety of like, shoot, he's gonna be mad at me because I suck at this game. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? But we still, that's one of the things I think we do.
Listen, nobody can be mad at anybody for sucking at Battletoads. Battletoads is just awful. I mean, don't get me wrong. I played the game too. I love the game. Like, it would, but I mean, yeah, it is. You can't be mad at anyone for sucking at those games. Now, if you sucked at Mega Man, well, that's on you.
If I suck at Mega Man now, just by watching him, I think I could get some of these levels down. If I suck at Mega Man now, then that is a big problem. So yeah, for me too, the nerdy date night is just something that we nerd out on communally. So, like I said, ours is games. Then would you plan this ahead of time, or do you let them happen organically?
Okay, depending. So, is this a first date, or is this a like you're dating this person for a while, and like, because I mean, if you're on a first date,
would you do something nerdy on a first date?
I mean, if they're okay with it, I would.
I mean, it depends on the person, I guess, but like, I try to dial it back the first date, and then I kind of let them gradually see till it's too late, maybe.
Till it's too late. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just depends. Like, if you've been dating the person for a while, you know, I mean, doing something kind of spontaneous is probably not bad. I love everything to be planned. I can't, you know, like, you want to get on my nerves very quickly, be very spontaneous like that.
Yeah.
I can't deal with spontaneity. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't work for me. But yeah, I mean, you can get things that are organic. I mean, like, if you've been in a relationship for a while and you're like, you know, we should probably try to do, you know, I use D&D a lot, but I mean, that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. It's like a D&D, you know, yeah, a D&D date night, and it's like, okay, you know, like, that can kind of come organically, whereas it's, yeah,
sorry,
we are still kind of new to dating. It does kind of have to be planned. I feel it does have to be planned out.
Yeah, I think so too, because you'll want to like kind of know what the person likes, because even if they are like, you find a nerdy girl, you might not she might not like whatever it is that you're planning so hard, so you might want to be kind of fruitful for that, or like understanding of that.
She better get on board with my ScarJo. That's
So if I were to date you, I'd be dating you and ScarJo.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus.
My life model decoy of ScarJo in the other room.
Oh my God, you do have that, don't you? Is she dressed?
Sometimes.
Oh my God. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So yeah, I also agree. Like for a first date, like I said, I don't know. I like with Squez was different because we met streaming. Streaming is a very nerdy place. Like on Twitch, Twitch specifically is a very nerdy place. And we were both playing games, and I don't play just retro games, but like I play some retro games. So like it's definitely very different than like my ex, who like the first night we talked about anything and everything, but I kind of kept like that I knew all 600 Pokemon. I could name all 600 Pokemon on the first date. So like I just wanted to like gauge
we all do that though. I mean, we all keep our nerd card close to our chest when we first start talking. You know, like
You think that's good though?
That's why do you think I'm perpetually single? It's probably because I let my freak fly too early. I have to lure them in and I have to get them hooked.
Oh, well, maybe you should do something about that. This ScarJo is just me in a wig.
That's true.
Man, you get to have all the fun with Ginger. It's not fair.
That's because me and Ginger have known each other for a while. Me and Ginger have built a relationship on trust and cheese fries.
Oh my God. Let's see. So yeah, I think that like with Squez, I can just say, hey, let's go to the Spy Museum because he owes me a trip to the Spy Museum. Because when I came down here last year just to visit, I bought tickets to it because that's one of the few museums that you have to pay for. And he got COVID. And so obviously we couldn't go to the Spy Museum. And then, but yeah, I do agree. We could just say, hey, we're going to go do this weekend. Or like, the July 4th doesn't take a lot of planning in DC, but it does take like the planning of like, I have to fill up a cooler because we're going to be there. We have to get there early enough to find a good spot to sit. So you're going to need a cooler and fill it up with whatever stuff you need for that. So that takes a little bit of planning, but like, I don't consider like that going through the plan of like, okay, we're going to go to a D&D date and we're going to eat here first and we're going to do that. Like, I don't consider that the same thing, you know? It's just making sure you have an okay time.
Well, that's that feeling out process. You know what I mean? Like until you get it all figured out.
Mm-hmm. And like that's what I kind of remember about like different parents. Like once they got in the swing of things, you know, okay, we know we're bringing this, we know we're doing this. It just becomes second nature eventually. Did you ever have a nerdy date? And if so, what was it like?
Again, I don't think so. I mean, like I like a nerdy date per se, not really. As I said, we would only really either watch like a movie, or I wouldn't consider it a date. But I mean, I've done escape rooms with my friends, you know. So, but so I wouldn't call that a date, because it wasn't specifically set out to be a date.
Right.
I'm too dumb to do those things on my own anyway.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, I can't really. Nothing really jumps out at me like an actual like date.
Is there a dating app that's just for like nerdy people?
Probably.
And like what I mean is that like you have to do a questionnaire, and the only way you can get on this questionnaire is if you can name some or like fill out this questionnaire, and you're right on most of them. And it doesn't even matter if you're part of that specific fandom, but like I know enough about Star Trek that I could probably answer these basic questions. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I asked somebody I asked somebody recently, I was telling them a quote from Captain Picard, and she had no idea who Captain Picard was. So I was like,
Was she 12? Because, I mean, he's even, like, mentioned in, I don't know, Family Guy and stuff. Like, just random, like, things that most people watch that are not not necessarily nerdy. They make nerd references, but you don't have to understand the nerddom or whatever you want to call it to understand to watch the show.
I know.
Also, if you don't know who Captain Picard is, I feel like I couldn't be friends with you. Let's see. Let me think about my first nerdy date. I don't know if it would be with like my first boyfriend where we went to COSI, which is what does it stand for? It's like a science museum in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. Columbus. I don't. Yeah.
Science. It's just you go there and it's hands-on. It's all hands-on, like.
And you know me, I'm all hands-on.
Jesus. It's just like I learned there was an exhibit then about it was like when they were first started that mushing people's faces together to see what their children would look like, and then they talked about how the science of that and how eventually we would get AI that would do this perfectly, which is kind of creepy now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
And so him and I did that. We both took our pictures and then saw what our children would look like. Thank God that never happened. So I mean that could be nerdy. I really like science things. He did not, but he did go out of his way to plan that for me because we were at that time I lived in Mansfield and we were like an hour and a half north of Columbus. So that does take some planning. But that was nice because, it was something I liked. And then he liked it too once he found stuff that he was interested in.
It stands for, where did it go? Center of Science and Industry.
Okay. That doesn't seem like that. Okay. It seems too official for what it actually is, but
I think they just really wanted their name to read COSI.
Yes. But it's a really good place, especially for children. But I'm never gonna grow up, so.
Because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Bum, bum.
We went to Toys R Us. It was in the mall. It was in Macy's, and it was like 3 aisles. And I'm like, and it was like 3 little aisles, and it made me sad.
Yeah. The fall of Toys R Us makes me very sad.
There was a bench though that was like cartoony, and Jeffrey, and I say that loosely because he does not look like our Jeffrey, was sitting on it, and then Squez and his friend took a picture on it. So Squez and I's first date, like I said, I don't like real date. We went to the Air and Space Museum, which is probably my favorite museum in DC. And so that counts as nerdy because obviously all of the space and technology and all of that stuff. And it was so fun to like see the Mars rover copy in there and see the moon stuff and walk through some of these exhibits, which he, by the way, was like, sent me which I knew they were changing it, but he sent me like an article that had more info about it. Like, hey, we got to go here again because they're about to update it here in July, and so we're gonna probably make another date back to there.
So your guys' dates are every time they update the
yes.
Air and Space Museum.
Yes.
Like, oh look, they added a bench. Let's go.
They're getting one of the early bombers from the that was at Wright Pat because I saw it there, but they're getting it here now. One of the early bombers from World War I. So I'm kind of excited to see that. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it before, but now that it's here, it'll be cool. And they're doing a whole thing on space exploration and what it'd be like to live in space. So, I mean, I think it'll be fun. But yeah, let's see. Our first date, what made it memorable is just that Squez like went out of his way to make me feel included, even though it was a 1-player game, you know? I don't know. There wasn't really anything that made it awkward other than we're just both awkward. But
awkward.
that was like the minute that we knew that like, okay, this is going to be a okay thing. And then for us, we bonded over just video games in general. We don't really have movies that we watch because I don't do well at sitting through movies. But I have gotten him to watch a lot of cult shows with me. Not that that's nerdy, but like now we know every single thing about the Mormon church, like an unhealthy amount, as if we were like in the church. And now every time we drive
by, how do you know you're not in the church?
Because I don't wear the funny underwear. At least I don't think so.
What funny underwear?
They have magic underwear. Anyway, but yeah, so now like that's something we bond up. We're like, we'll make snarky. I'm so sorry if I'm like offending someone's faith, but we'll make snarky like comments about like, oh, you didn't pray to your alien Xenu god. If we're talking about Scientology, like now we've like come full circle. We love just being assholes about culty things.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're in a cult, you might as well own up to it. Like, be in a cult, fine. Own up to it, yes. Don't hurt other people. That's all that I care about. Don't be a douche.
As for like creative projects, we've been doing like I've been making his thumbnails for YouTube, and it's great because it feels like not that I can take the credit. I'm just being an asshole here, but every time I make a YouTube or a thumbnail for his YouTube, it gets like thousands of views. So I'm taking full credit for that. It's all because of my beautiful thumbnail work. I'm never going to be as good as Ginger, but
I know, right? We can all aspire, but we will never be there.
Sorry, I gotta get my charger. I didn't realize this was gonna die. But yeah, so we've been working more on that. He's been trying to get his YouTube channel up and going. I've been trying to help him as much as I can. He wants edited videos. I am not an editor. Like, I cannot sit and do that for hours.
Nobody edits videos anymore. Like, nobody cares. Like, just upload them as is and just like have a good thumbnail. Like, that's it. Like that is what appeases the YouTube audience nowadays.
He thinks that there, like some of his streams, like the other day we streamed for 5 hours. So he at least wants them broken up at good points. And then his yesterday's video, I think, was like edited. It was from when he and I played, I don't know, something. But like there's like cool pictures and the guy zooms in on funny faces that we make or whatever. So he likes that. We talked about it. I'm like, I know you would like me to help with that because I'm not working right now, but I don't think I could. I'm good at thumbnails. And it's, I think, because of the ADHD, and I can't stay focused for that long. Like, yeah. And when I'm trying to learn new things, I get frustrated, and then, no, I'm too old for that. So we do have some creative projects that we do, but I don't know if I'd call those like a date other than we're just sitting down working on something together.
I mean, but if it's every week and it's the same day and you guys actually look forward, like if it's something you look forward to doing together, then yeah, it could be a date.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now I guess we can move on to the next thing, types of nerdy dates. So I have here tabletop and digital. Or if you have a Switch and you have one
I
of those
mean, I've
games.
had women on both, so I mean, oh, you mean like the date? Got it. Okay.
Christ. How many times take a drink every time I have to say Jesus Christ today? Not of water.
How do you know what's in here?
Cause I know you. I know you well enough to know it's not. You didn't down a shot of or a big long swig of vodka. I know that. But I was trying to say if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can get one of those board games that is you put your Switch on the table and it's tabletop and digital.
Wow, I did not know that actually.
Yeah, they didn't make very many games for this. But it's a really interesting concept that
Trying to reinvent it again, which is good. I mean, innovation is.
Mm-hmm. So, what games are best for 2 players, or should we do co-op? For us, Chris would rather do co-op because he'd rather us be working towards the same thing. So, like Borderlands is a game that we play a lot because we're on the same team. Also, I just am happy to play the game. So I am not like, I gotta win, I'm gonna win. So he gets bored with me because he doesn't want to always be winning because I'm not trying to get better. I'm just having fun playing whatever the game is. So I think that's why he likes co-op because, I do the thing that I'm supposed to do. Like I always play as a siren. So I use the magic and stop the guys in their tracks and whatever. And then he can shoot them. But it's not like there's no skill in that. It's just, yay, I helped you.
Winnie's the bait.
Yes.
Wes is the executioner.
Let's see. What about you? When you played games, you play mainly solo games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was no like Mario Party nights or whatever.
Whenever I go over to actually Lord Donkey here on the channel, me and Lord Donkey have been friends, and we live locally for many years. Every time I go over to like a birthday party or something at his house, we'll always play like the online PlayStation games. I don't remember what they're called, but
Jackbox.
Yeah, Jackbox. We'll play Jackbox. They'll do Super Smash Bros, which I don't usually partake in that one. But Jackbox I'll partake in. And, just some other stuff. But yeah, I mean that's kind of not really a date, but I mean that's kind of the stuff that I'll be doing. Yeah.
We played that a few times, like on Discord with a bunch of people. It's fun, depending on the people, I guess. But yeah, I can see that. I don't think it's like that specifically is a date sort of game, unless
again,
like a group game.
Perpetually single.
Let's see. Yesterday, so I bought a deck of cards that were waterproof because we went outside, like we were playing outside. And yesterday we played War for like an hour, like
nice.
Old-fashioned game of War.
Yeah, War is always one of my favorites.
And I was like, it's easy. I don't have to teach. Like I know a lot of card games because growing up, that was like you had to learn card games. So I'm like, what's easy that we can do outside that doesn't take a lot of like gin rummy is kind of hard to teach, especially when there's too much stuff going on. Which I love that game a lot, but I just need something easy. And so we played that and like
I mean War is easy. High, low, or even, and then you draw 3. Well, not draw 3, but put 3 down and then you flip.
Yes. And so Like, he's getting all into it. Like, I swear to God, you could probably hear us all the way a mile away at Lincoln, because we're just like, no, you took my Jack, or you took my like, it was hilarious for that hour. Like, he was just so into it. Yesterday was just a really fun day, just to add that. But yeah,
celebrate America.
yeah. So yeah, we did, like, we like some card games. We play Pokemon sometimes, like Pokemon cards. But mostly we play just video games. It's just the easiest to, like, not have to have something to clean up afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some games are just too much. Like Monopoly's Monopoly's just too much unless you're committing like a whole weekend.
Yes, or Risk. Like, we both love Risk, but I think I loved that in high school more than I would love that now. Does that make sense? Like, we both could play it, and I have, like, Lord of the Rings version, and I have, I think, a Mario version, and I have whatever. But I just don't think I want to set that up. Plus, we have a cat that rolls all over everything.
Yeah, right? Cats are just the worst when it comes to games. Like, you can't, like, at least with Riker, like, I can, like, set something up on a table and he can't get to it. Like, cats will jump up on the table, kicking shit over, knocking it off the side. It's like, Jesus God.
The other day I was doing something in here and I said, God damn it, Leo Bear. And then all of a sudden I, like, hear Chris laughing from the other room. And I'm like, beads are everywhere. And I'm like, just over it at that point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have we ever gotten competitive? Have you gotten competitive with your girls?
A little bit here and there. I wouldn't say a lot, but a little bit.
What? Tell me about a time.
I mean, just I'm trying to remember what we were playing. Rummy, maybe?
Hi, Squizzy.
It was probably like Rummy we would be playing. And just we got really super competitive and I mean, like, I don't know.
Did it end well?
I think, she punched me, I punched her, or something like that. I don't know.
That didn't happen.
No, but Squez took your 8, or you took his 8.
I did take his 8. And in one of the last wars, I took his Joker because we play Jokers as the highest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And once I took his Joker, it was over. He would win.
Yeah, usually, I mean, with the aces, it's like usually when you lose all 4 aces, that's it, game over. The only way you're getting it back is if you, and I mean, I've fought back from that, but I mean, yeah, once you lose those aces, game over.
Uh-huh. So, like, in a sense, like I said, I'm not competitive unless somebody's being a jerk or somebody says the thing, well, you can't do this. Well, guess what? Now you brought out the asshole Winnie. Like,
uh-oh. We don't like the asshole Winnie.
Yeah, I am going to kick your ass and I'm going to make you cry. And then I'm going to say, do you want me, which Winnie do you want me to be? And
I want this sweet Winnie
that just plays.
It just plays and loves to play.
And yes. And so, like, I'm not truly competitive unless a situation comes up that I have to be. But yeah, so Chris, like I said before, Chris and I sometimes disagree on how we should be playing, like in Borderlands, because, like, I get attached to, like, guns and I figure out how to use them because I'm not good at those kinds of games.
Yeah, so you're proper Republican American. You love your guns, you get attached to your guns. You put a diaper on your gun, you take it into the store, do some shopping.
I just finally figure out how to use a gun. And so I'm like, I figured this one out. If I get that one, then I have to start all over and my brain doesn't work that way. And he's like,
you're like walking around with like a level 2 gun and like Squez is running around like level 53. Yeah. You're like, I like this gun. It does 3 damage.
and that's what it was when we played Borderlands 1. And then I finally figured out that you can get the same gun, but you can get leveled up versions. So like that's what I needed to know, that, and then I would give up my favorite guns, you know. But it was just like there definitely were times where like I could tell he like, even though we're co-op, he was still wanting to like beat this boss because it's annoying because my gun did level 3 damage. We weren't getting through some of these bosses, and yeah, so like I finally am getting better now that we're in Borderlands 2. We've been playing through each game 3 times, and we still got to finish this Borderlands.
Damn, 3 times.
Yeah, because what we've learned is, or what I've learned is that like every time you play, the enemies and stuff get harder, and there's like maybe different quests, and there's different like I can go find that gun again, but it's leveled up a lot, and so it might be better or have better Deadeye or better something, whatever. So yeah. Then you get like their names of their characters, like super ultimate badass whatever psycho, like, and you see different versions of like of bad guys you're killing, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, yeah, we like that, except for again, I'm not competitive. My gun was pink and I wanted to keep it.
I mean, you got to stay with the pink.
I feel like that's some sort of reference that I'm never gonna get, but okay.
No, just you gotta stay with the pink. It's your favorite color.
How do you keep it fun even if one person isn't great at the game? I guess I kind of covered that. I think he kind of deals with it after a while, and just knows that I suck. Or once he told me that like, you can get this gun, you just have to pay Moxie. You have to pay her. She'll give you the whatever level you're at. She'll give it back to you. So I think that made it easier once he was like sometimes, you know how sometimes you're talking to somebody and you're trying to tell them information, but for some reason it's not clicking to them because you're not saying it in a way that they understand it.
Yeah.
And you have to like figure out which way that is for them to understand it. Well, he finally did that, and now I knew I could get rid of my level 2 gun.
Level 15.
Yes. Hi, Divine Sonic. I hope you're doing well. That and sirens are overpowers. Yeah. And that's also why I play as a siren, because they are overpowered, and it makes it so that I can at least be okay at the game while everybody else can play any character and be great. And you know what I mean? So
sorry, I was burning up. I had to turn the AC back
fine.
up.
But
so
yeah,
if you hear a buzzing in the background or a rumbling in the background, that's just me, you know.
Lots of houses in Ohio do not have AC.
Yeah.
It is
We're all lame. My house is over 100 years old.
But yeah, so yeah, I try like sirens make it easier for me to be in a game that everybody else is just naturally good at, where I am not. So but yeah, let's see, crafty or creative projects. Have you ever built a Lego set, painted minis, or cosplayed together? Even Halloween.
I mean, I've done Halloween with people, but I wouldn't say it was a date. I've usually done it with groups.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done it with big groups.
Or wife or whatever.
No, that was during my like perpetual single era.
So recently?
No, this is my other perpetual single era.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. So we have Lego sets. We haven't built them yet. We just, like I said, we did the models and are doing models. That seems to be the thing, because I like crafting stuff. He likes Digimon, so it kind of works together. And I don't necessarily care what the model is, although, like I said, he did get me some Pokemon, which he got me the Hydreigon and the Zwellius and the Dino set, which is my favorite Pokemons. So I'm excited for that. Hi, what'd you do to your nose? Sorry. So I'm excited to do those. Sometimes crafting can be stressful for me with him because I get to this point where I'm like, it's not that hard. Why is it that why he overthinks things, I think, sometimes, and it's like he doesn't want to disappoint me or do it wrong. And I where I have been crafting for my entire life and I forget that not everybody has. And I've gotten frustrated with him, glue this to this, and it's not hard.
But I don't know how to glue this to this. I don't know the basics.
And then I forget that he might not know the basics, and no guy in the world knows what a tape runner is. I'm sorry, they don't. A tape runner is this. You do this.
And then you run the tape. Yeah.
Yeah, but guys don't generally know that unless they have a daughter or a mom who crafts a lot. So I forget that all he's done is played video games. He wants to be good at this, but I have to slow down, and which is not a problem. It's just my brain sometimes I'm thinking this could have been done already.
Winnie. When will you learn that us men, we just need you to slow down a little bit? Be dumb like us.
And he's not dumb. He can do really good things on editing videos and whatever. It's just
WWDAD. What would dumbass do?
Oh.
That's for men in general.
But yeah. So we are getting better at that. I don't think he knows this to the full extent, but I created Pikmin for back here. I know you can only see Gengar and stuff, but for on my wall that are out of paper. But I don't think he realizes that the whole apartment is going to be covered in characters from different video games, because I've been enjoying making really big things, because it's not an easy skill. It's not a day one beginner skill to make things bigger than the Cricut can make them. And I realized that I'm really good at that. So the Pikmin that's 2 foot on the wall behind me is going to be amazing. Or the Mega Man that I finally created is going to be an amazing thing. For his wall out in his streaming room. But yeah, so I think he can help. I just got to be better at teaching. Where he can just teach and it comes naturally. But
I can't teach. I'm sitting there yelling, do the thing with the thing with the other thing. My dog's over here looking at me like, what the He's who the do you think you are yelling like that?
But yeah, so but when we do the models, the only time we got in an argument was when he was you put the model together and I will cut the pieces out. But the thing is that when I cut the pieces out, they were exact and didn't have the nubs. So all he had to do was figure out how they went together. So, but for me, he was just breaking the pieces off and leaving all the extra pieces. And for me, that was frustrating because I wanted to, now I have to stop. I can't just put it together. I have to stop and clean it up. And I cut myself, and that was a bad day. I'm no, I figured out this way. We're doing it this way. And I was just upset because I cut myself pretty deep that day. I probably should have got stitches.
Aww.
But it was just one of those things where I learned the part that I'm good at. He knows the part that he's good at. And now we just do it. It's fine. But yeah, so he did we made some I don't think I have them. We did some of these those beads that you melt, perler beads. I don't know if this is backwards or not, but that's an S. He did one for me and one for him. That was a lot of fun that day. We did I accidentally ruined one of the boards, so it's like this now because my heat press that I was using was too hot. But it was super fun. But yeah, so I think those can be really good days or nights or whatever. Leo Bear, your hair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So have you ever gone to a con with a date or a future?
Not with a date, just with friends. Like, and I went to Steel City Con years ago with a bunch of friends. I went to Akron Comic Con years before that, just with my friends. Nobody wants anything to do with me,
Oh, stop. Let's see. We haven't been to a con together or an escape room, really. We had, like I said, we've been doing museum trips. I don't know. Our most memorable outing, he's just loud and happy and fun loving. So it's like, no matter what we're doing, it's just funny and silly. So it doesn't, like, I don't know if I can pick one specific thing. Leo Bear, this is not appropriate.
Yes, we are very appropriate streamers.
Oh, he's mad now that I showed.
He's like, oh, you outed me.
So like yesterday was amazing. Anytime we go to a museum is amazing. Sometimes we just walk around and that's fun, The 3D aquarium thing where we sat and watched the fishes. Oh, that was really nice too. There was I don't know if you remember that Van Gogh thing where you go into the room and there's like 1,000 projectors and it's just his paintings all over the walls and stuff. There's a place like that in DC called Art Tech House, I think. But basically it's just projectors all over white walls, and they, like, this specific time was the ocean, and I love the ocean, and they they had like sharks and stuff all over. It felt like it was a whale shark. A whale shark's never going to eat you. Never, ever, ever. But they had it all over, and our faces were like covered in the projections and stuff. It was really cool. Then you went to different rooms, and there were like, you could push the screens, and then it would tell you facts about fish. There was this thing that you could go up and down in the water, and it would tell you which kind of fish would be at this level in the water.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
It was pretty.
So was the megalodon at like the very, very bottom?
No.
Because that's where they're hiding right now by the volcanic. Because it's actually warmer down by the bottom of the ocean than it is.
Yes, in the middle.
So that's where all our megalodons are. You got to go find them, Winnie.
Maybe you want to come with me?
No. I'll be with you in prayer.
And you don't pray, so that's wonderful. That's very reassuring. Oh my God. I never in my life thought there'd be Mongolian chanting in my stream ever.
Winnie going to the ocean to find the sharks, and they will eat her.
They will not. They love me.
They love to eat you. Amen.
Let's see. How do you find nerd-friendly local events? So, for me, it's just looking at what you're interested in. So, if you're interested in video games, you could almost easily type in Washington, D.C. and I don't know.
Nerdy things to do.
Yeah, or Smash Brothers tournaments. And if you like Smash Brothers, I just randomly said that I don't actually play Smash Brothers, but you could do that and find something that you would be interested in. There's a comic book store off DuPont Circle called Phantom Comics, and I'm shamelessly plugging because I love that place, and Jacob does a really good job there. But almost like 5 times a week at least, they have stuff to do, and it's not all nerdy stuff, like or it's not all comic book related, I should say, because they have charity Mario Kart events, and they have a few Nintendo Switches and TVs set up where we could all race, and then whoever wins gets some money, and then the charity gets some money. Like,
boo, charity! I want all the money.
So it's kind of like a really fun event, and like I go to the Junji Ito book club, which sadly was the last one. Was they had read all through all of his American releases, so.
Mihano, we want to win the lottery.
So yeah, we like if you find something in like that comic book store that you like, you could go to that, and then they have magic things, and you see on their list of stuff that they have all kinds of stuff. So you and your partner could easily find stuff through there, or you could call there and say, what other nerdy stuff is there to do in this city, especially if you're new? And I'm sure he'd have a list of stuff for you to go and do. So that's kind of how I've done it. Also, DC is a very easy place to be nerdy. In Akron, for me, it was not as easy. Especially, I lived in Suffield. It also wasn't as easy to find nerds in Suffield. That was hillbilly country.
That's because we're all super cool here in Ohio. You know, we're not nerds like some people around the world. We're all kind of normal, you know.
Normal's so cool. But yeah, so that's how I would say how you could find stuff. Maybe if you're old like Cheeto and I, you still have a Facebook account, and you could find.
What are you trying to say? I just friended somebody on Facebook today.
You what?
I just friended somebody today on Facebook.
Is it a girl?
What? Why does it matter?
Because we're trying. Like, by the time we're done with this, I'm hoping you find your one true person.
I have.
It's not ScarJo. Oh, your dog. Hi, Riker. Oh,
my one true bro, Riker.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's how I would say you could as a start. Like even just making like a plan to go to the comic book store together could be a date. You know, you both get comics that you like, and like Squez and I, he doesn't read per se like comic books, but like he does sit down and like I've been reading this one that's about serial killers. So
actually, you really? No, reading about serial killers
existed. Now there's 4 of them, so now I have all of them, and the first one is signed. Not that means anything to me, but it's still cool. But like he'll sit and listen. Like I'll like explain. Oh my gosh, this is what happened in this comic book today. And I before I was not reading normal American comic books. I do want to add that. But
since you did mostly manga, right?
Yes. So since I liked the Junji Ito stuff and some other like dark, creepy manga, Jake was like, "Hey, do you read American stuff?" And I'm like, "No." Not that I'm against it, but also it is hard to read from right to left.
Toity manga fan.
But it was just that's what I liked, and they have like they're more often likely to have like the Lovecraft kind of creatures that I like, and you know it's gonna be in Japanese manga, it's not gonna be in American anything. And I'm not a superhero person. Like I like Batman, but so does everybody.
Is Batman your favorite Marvel character?
What?
Is Batman your favorite Marvel character?
Yes, he's my favorite Marvel character. I'm about to throw up. So yeah, he but he was like, hey, there's this, we had this very nice conversation. Well, not, I don't know if you call it nice, but it was pleasant because we were talking pleasantly about some specific serial killer, and it was just a nice conversation. So then he was like, you like Junji Ito, you'll probably like these. And then I did. But Squez will sit down. He doesn't like to read necessarily, but he will sit down and listen to me talk about what's going on. And I show him the gory pictures, which is really nice. So, but yeah, let's see. Tips for introverts doing date nights in
dirty date nights. Ooh, you said dirty. Dirty date nights. Winnie, we know what she's doing. And she's all red now.
Oh my god.
dirty date nights.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Dirty date nights. What do you play?
You better save me.
You play Attack on Titan, but like you're one of the giants, so you got to be naked.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm actually surprised. I didn't think you watched anything like that, so I'm surprised you know that.
I just know Attack on Titan from the things that the promos and stuff that I've seen. I know there's like people that are huge, but they like don't have skin. They look like you can see all their muscles, right? Yeah.
That's I haven't watched that in like 10 years probably.
I say that's all I know. All I know.
They have different names for them, and now I forget. But
I thought they were called Titans.
They were Titans, but they're like super type Titans and whatever. And some Titans can run, and some Titans can't, and like it's a whole thing. But my favorite thing ever was when I was side tangent, because that's all we do here. My favorite one ever was I was watching that in like a public space on my laptop, and we got to the part where the one Titan eats his mom, and it's like terrifying. And like this lady with her kids, I didn't know they were behind me, was like, you shouldn't watch stuff like that in public. And I'm like, what?
You should watch what your kids are watching in public.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Exactly. I'm like, it's actually not that bad, but I guess that Titan could be scary. I mean, he is eating a human, so. But yeah, let's see. Tips for introverts. So like when we went to that art tech house, you could sort of stay by yourself. You didn't have to go to the bar and get they had some cool interactive drinks that were like augmented reality with your phone. You didn't have to do that, but it was like really crowded. You could stay off to yourself.
Oh, thank God.
You didn't have to be in a group that was like following each other the whole time. Like once you got in, you could just be with yourselves and no one else, which was kind of nice.
Yeah. People suck.
Yeah. And like that's kind of how we are. Like people think like that I'm this big extrovert because I'm on Twitch and I do videos, and I'm like, but it's just me and the camera. Like you guys are in my chat and I'm grateful for it, but like as soon as I want to turn it off, like you guys don't have to exist anymore. Like it's my social battery for the day, and that's it. Like it's just me and a camera. It's not like you're in my room talking with me the whole time.
That you know of.
Oh my God. I know. I did get a strange teddy bear once in the mail. I didn't think anything of it till I started getting weird emails about all the stuff I was wearing and doing. Is that a problem?
Might be a problem. I usually don't have those problems. Women are far less creepy. Like they can be crazy, but they're far less creepy.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just kidding. I know that was a joke. But yeah, so go to places like museums and other things like that where you don't have to like force yourself to be in groups. Don't do a scavenger hunt where you might be pushed on somebody else's team that you don't know. Like,
even a hike, there's a lot of people that go,
mm-hmm.
and do that. So it's, you think, oh, I'm getting outside, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, there's still a ton of people there.
Mm-hmm. So you can find ways to make it less like a crowd, like less like it's like you're the only two there, and really that should be the only focus anyway, because you're on a date, unless somebody's awful, but like, and I mean somebody else. Yeah, I need to take a drink. So this next section is like talking about logistics, and since like Squez and I have had this real talk recently, of how real life stuff gets in the way, and like not having energy might get in the way. Money sometimes gets in the way, because I feel like everything is 10 times more expensive than it even was 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
And that's a big thing. I mean, because that is like the energy thing, and like us doing this some weekends, like we just don't have the time or the energy to do it, and we love doing it. Just because like just because we love doing it, though, doesn't mean that we're just like like, I love streaming, but there are a lot of nights where I'm just like, I just physically cannot do it tonight.
Because work, like Chris works a lot, and he has been taking up some overtime. So I know, like especially on like last weekend, he worked overnight. He worked Saturday day, came home for a couple hours, and then worked from midnight to 8 or something. Like, that's a lot of hours in a short amount of time. And so I know Sunday, which is usually our day, we don't always do a date, but like it's more us centered. We're not on computers. We're usually watching movies or something. But Sunday night, I just know, he just works basically 24 hours. I can't really be upset that he's sleeping all day today. But we do realize, like, we need date time, because if you don't have date time, then that's also a problem. Because you need that time to just focus on each other. So like, he made time for yesterday, which was seeing the fireworks, which was nice. And
yeah, fireworks.
It was very public, but again, we laid our blanket down. We stayed to our blanket. It didn't matter that there were literally hundreds of thousands of people there. There were like, we just were having fun on our little blanket, doing our own things. It was fine. And that was mostly free. And I say mostly because we did eat something. And we did take a lift to the train. The train was free because it was 4th of July. It was free after 5 or something. So like, we tried to keep, like, we obviously, so he doesn't have to keep working all these shifts. We try to keep so that it's as low budget as possible, but we live in DC, it's hard.
Yeah. DC's got like some of the highest, not inflation rates, cost of living rates, right? Like,
yes.
DC is high. It's up there with LA.
And New York and Chicago.
And that's why that's why Squez should have moved here rather than you moving there. I'm just saying.
Squez has a really good job here. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find good jobs in Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, you could always be like one of those, those rioter instigators that they keep saying are hired, like.
I know. I keep looking because I want to make money for doing something like that I already love, but I can't never see those posts.
Feed Finder. There you go.
Oh my God. So yeah, we do make time. It's just like, you have to stop and say, okay, this is the time we're doing this. Like, nothing else is getting in the way. You just, like, you have to make a point of it. Like, you have to be intentional about that. What are our go-to low budget ideas?
I mean, a board game night's always low budget. You know what I mean? Like, that's a board game night. I mean, if you don't count the initial cost of the game, like even like Jackbox or whatever, that's like $5. Like to buy it is like $5. Like that's, I mean, to me that's a cheap thing. You know what I mean? And you're not renting it, even you're owning it anyway. So the next time you do it, it'll also. So I mean, like so like the board games, I mean, they're usually relatively cheap, under $20. I mean, going out and having a picnic. No, that's not really nerdy. Under the stars, see, you can go out on a picnic under the stars, and then you can like do nerdy like constellations and find all the planets. See, that's nerdy.
Or he can listen to my 10-minute rant on why Thomas Jefferson is our best president ever. That could be nerdy.
Didn't he own slaves?
Yes, so did everybody.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know how he'd be the best president then.
Because he's very smart, and he also had a
he was a scientist. That is true. He also
had a secret slave wife.
Well, yeah, I mean,
or like a second, I don't know. And he was also part of the Hellfire Club, which I find very interesting, which is a whole different thing and a whole not
but a whole night of conspiracy theory research. Yes. You can do that together. That can be nerdy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're sitting at Thomas Jefferson and we can talk about all those things, and that makes it fun. And we're having our picnic date.
Under the stars.
But yes. Oh my gosh. So yeah, picnic dates, gaming, crafting, building things. And yes, there's initial costs, but it's low budget, not free, I guess. But the Pokemon model was $20. Like, that's pretty good. Some of the Gundam and Digimon box or kits are really expensive. So, but like, you can do stuff like that, anything. I have a crap ton of paper. We can make all the characters in the whole world that we wanted, or make cards, or make, whatever the thing is. Yeah. So those are some good things. There's lots of museums, like in Ohio, like the Cleveland Zoo is free on Tuesdays, or it used to be. I don't know if they switched their day or not, but they always have a free day. So you could, not go to work that day, or maybe schedule yourself if you can.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'll call off every single day of the week. Shit.
So you could go to the zoo on that day when it's free, and then maybe you just have to pay for the gas to get there. You could go. There's plenty of things happening all the time that are just free. There was a website I used to visit that was like free things to do in Northeast Ohio. And they literally found all of the things, like festivals and whatever. You could find cheap.
Renaissance fairs.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even think about that really until
that just happened. The Viking festival just happened. My friends because I was a Viking reenactor for a little bit before I left Ohio. My friends there just had their day, and I think it was $10 a person to get in, and $10 for a turkey leg. So like for $20 you've eaten a whole meal, because a turkey leg, I will die on that hill, a turkey leg is a whole meal.
It can be, yeah.
And that's a cheap date. You spent $20 a person,
$20 for the two of you if you pay, and you get like to explore. And I'm sure that there's tons of like history and historical things that go on there, where they talk about it, and all the history that goes on with the Vikings and the Norwegians, and
exactly. And there are, and like I was part of what we called the Fight Club, but like I liked sword fighting, and so we did a lot of that, but it was all historically accurate. So your blade had to be, well, they were blunted, of course, but your blade had to be one of the swords that the Vikings would use, or you had to find historically accurate documents that showed this is the kind of things that they were using,
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be very nerdy because you're learning about that stuff. We had a blacksmith, so a normal couple would be walking around and this blacksmith would be explaining, oh, this is how they did it, a couple 100 years ago, 400 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you're learning a lot because lots of those things, there's not all of them are historically accurate because the one here is definitely not. But or I should say the one that everybody goes to in Maryland is definitely not.
As long as the whoars are fresh and lovely. We are Vikings. Whoars.
What is wrong with you? So yeah, there's some good.
I wish I knew.
How do you balance solo nerd time versus shared nerd time? I have a problem with this. It sounds like you do too.
I don't balance it.
Well, right now you don't.
When I was in my last relationship, I was streaming for a little while. A lot of times what I would do is I would stream either after my ex went to bed, or I would or sometimes she would work at night on nights. So she'd be gone until like 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, I would play until she, like, just before she got home, and then I'd try to be off when she got home.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm nice like that. I like to see my woman.
So we struggle with that sometimes because phones are an issue sometimes. And hey Zam.
Good evening, Zam.
So we've been getting better at that. We try to stay on a schedule. Like Mondays and Tuesdays are his computer days. He can play video games. We stream on Monday together. We do whatever we do, or he does whatever he does on Tuesday. He might stream, he might work on videos, whatever. Then Wednesday is like, okay, I make dinner, then we're gonna watch a TV show or something together, Thursdays a lot of time I'm not here, so like we like what I'm trying to say is we try to schedule our time out. Like I'm not trying to bother him while he's doing computer time because I understand that he needs his solo time, And I know schedules for some people are like, oh, you need spontaneity in relationships, but it doesn't work like that for everybody, I don't think.
Yeah.
And like for me, with the autism and the ADHD, I need to be on a schedule because if I'm not, then stuff doesn't happen. Like cleaning might not happen that week or whatever, So, but this has seemed to be working. He's been able to be more consistent with posting his videos. I find something else to do, which is fine. Like I play video games on my own because they're like some Pokemon games that I am still playing, like Scarlet and Violet, especially on the new Switch, that look amazing now. I've just that's my time to do that, or to read, or to whatever the thing is. So I think it's again just being intentional and being like, okay, you need your time, I need my time, and it doesn't mean we don't love each other. It just means that I want to play this game. It's one player, and yeah.
It's one player and you suck.
No, I would never say that. Maybe.
I mean, if they actually sucked, probably would.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be together. Any tips for nerdy long distance relationships? Because I know there's a few other people that might watch this later and from like my Twitch community or Squez's Twitch community that are also met their partners on Twitch and they're living long distance right now. So I included this. And I didn't realize this was a thing until I started researching it for our podcast, but there are digital escape rooms. I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I.
and it actually looks pretty fun, but it's something you guys could do together. And like co-watching a show is something that that Squez and I did a lot. Like, he didn't watch a lot of TV before me. He was just on Twitch and YouTube. And so I would be like, hey, here's this thing that you missed. And it's some sort of cartoon that I know he would like had he realized it existed. And so we were watching the like Mario movies and all of them, not just the three of us watched, but like all of them, and playing video games together. It's easier now than it's ever been to play Mario Kart together, and play video games together. But my main tip is to stay consistent. Making sure you're intentional with your date nights.
Yeah. Don't let anything, I mean, barring family,
Yeah.
craziness, like family emergencies, like get in its way. Like it's important. It shows purpose, it shows importance. It is important to, if it's not important to you, it is important to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least. So
Mm-hmm. And at least that's another thing, show interest. So like Squez does a good job at this. He doesn't always understand, or sometimes for whatever obvious reason, he doesn't like some of the stuff that I watch because it's like grooming of children and stuff. And I get that that's terrible, but like my brain works that I want to see all the cult stuff all the time and all the like terrible whatever true crime.
Well, you are an aspiring cult leader for Winslow's Only Hope. So
so I want to see all of that kind of stuff, and he just grins and bears it. But now he's starting to get into it. I think maybe sometimes even more than me, which is I thought was a lot. But so yeah, I would say just if you can have Tuesday nights be your movie night if you're in a long distance relationship. Long distance is hard. Squez and I were on the phone like 24/7. Even sometimes we were getting annoyed with each other because like it was like we can't see each other, but we also can't, like, being on the phone is annoying all the time because it is.
yeah, I mean,
and it's not because of him or me, it was just because the phone, like, I'm never on the phone.
sounds like more of a you problem. I mean,
I don't even know where my phone is.
I never grin and bear it.
He's such a contrarian.
Hey, let him have this one. He is being supporting for Nerd Relationships.
But yeah, so there are plenty of things to do now, like with Discord and games, and especially if you're a nerdy couple who is into those kind of things, like it's easier now than ever. It's just about making time. All right, have you ever had a date night totally flop?
I mean, there's just some that just haven't worked out. Either someone couldn't make it, the chick said, oh no, you're too ugly, never mind, like stuff like that. So
No, she didn't.
So, that's kind of the only really flops I have. Well, usually if you actually get there and you get the activity going and everything, like everybody has a good time. But
okay. I'm trying to think. My ex, I tried to take him to this blacksmithing thing because he liked blacksmithing, and it was in like by Marietta, so really far away. I just tried, like, I hate surprises myself, but I just told him to be ready for anything on one day, and I packed the road trip bag and we drove all the way to Marietta, which is like, I don't know, 3-hour drive from us. I don't know.
Marietta?
Yeah.
From you?
No, from Ohio, me, like Akron. it's like a 3-hour drive from Akron, right?
Maybe I'd have to look it up.
Ohio. Well, anyway, it was kind of a long drive. I didn't realize, because we were still new, I didn't realize that he didn't do car rides well. And so like like for me, I can get in a car, or really, like yesterday we were gone for like 7 hours. I didn't go to the bathroom once because we had it, like growing up, it was like, we're doing this, we're only stopping to the bathroom on the way to Florida twice, so you better figure it out. And so,
I mean, you just grab some just Lipton bottles, like you drink the tea, and then you
yes, use the bottle.
Yep.
And so yeah, so we are on our way down there, and he's like wanting to stop every 20 minutes to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but I'm like, what do you mean that you have to go to the bathroom? We literally just stopped. Like, it took you longer in the bathroom than it did to like drive as far as we went.
Yeah.
So like, I was really like, we left early enough time, I thought, for us to get down there and to get to the event on time. But like, him keeping stopping when the event started at like 10 and we left at 7 a.m., I was worried that we weren't going to make it. So that was kind of like, he enjoyed the event somewhat, but he did not do good at the car. Yeah, maybe he just doesn't, I don't know if he was getting sick and he just blamed it on having to go pee, but I don't actually know. I just know from then on out, we never did, like, DC is a 5.5 hour drive. You think we could drive there from Ohio in one like morning and be fine? But no, we took a plane. It takes 40 minutes, and then we were out of the vehicle. I think that he just couldn't handle vehicles. So that was like, I tried really hard to plan this thing that he would like to do. We even afterwards there was like a mini festival that was like folk music and stuff that he likes. So I thought like I was doing a good thing, but it just, overall, we were both miserable the whole entire time. I would have been fine, but if somebody else is miserable, I can't be cheery and happy because they're sucking the life out of everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fucking true.
So like, I can be almost fine anywhere unless it's too loud, somebody sneezed on me or whatever. Like,
wait, you don't like it when people sneeze on you? That's what I planned on greeting you with.
No, but like those things. Otherwise, I try to make the best of it. I was always told you make the best of everything because life is what you make it.
Yep.
So
I mean, that is true.
If you make it sad and miserable, you're going to be sad and miserable. Like, it just is what it is. You can find the fun in anything. But yeah, so I don't think, obviously he just wasn't the right person for me, but that date was kind of awful, and I learned that I can't take him in car rides. It might have been better to fly to, the nearest airport for, I don't know.
Just pay a shit ton of money.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, which is why I was fine with him flying us to DC, because if you're choosing, then you're paying.
Yeah.
But like, because to me, I've driven all over the United States and been fine in my car, my little blue Beetle that I had at the time. I just do what I do. It's not a big deal. And if worse comes to worse, the side of the road is a perfectly fine place to take a pee.
Hey. Yep.
Why do you think I always wear skirts?
Easier to pee.
Yes.
I mean, I was more thinking that was like easier access for squares, but I mean,
oh my God.
You left yourself wide open for that one.
No, it's really just in case I have to pee.
Oh, poor Squez.
What was your most unexpectedly nerdy moment? Did you ever have one of those?
When I read this one originally, I was trying to think about it, and I'm still my most unexpectedly nerdy moment. It comes in like when I find somebody who has like this like Star Trek. You know what I mean? Like, because it's rare to find people that actually like Star Trek. So like one of my big nerdy things is just like when somebody likes Star Trek just like me, that's always a big surprise nerdy, and then that can turn into a whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can just talk Trek the whole night. I mean, we're unbelievably ridiculous when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Or no, I'm sorry. Did we just become best friends? Affirmative.
Like for me, I don't know that I've had one of those either. Like unexpected. I don't like unexpected things really either. Like I want to know what we're doing, when we're doing, because I like to like have a bag packed for, okay, we're going to DC, we're going to this museum, we're going to touch a lot of gross things. So I need to make sure that I packed my hand wipes and my Purell and all of that stuff. I need to
Gotta be prepared.
make sure. Yeah. And so surprises for me don't really work because guess what? We're going to be spending a lot of money on stuff we already had at home because I'm making sure we're clean and, I'm wearing the right thing and whatever. Like, I don't really like surprises.
Yeah, I get that.
I at least need to know the bare minimum. I guess like if when somebody comes home with like a Build-A-Bear or orders something for me online that they thought I might like that was something Pokemon or whatever, like that's something I guess I can consider. But yeah, I'm gonna skip the last question in the section because I don't think I have one.
No, me neither.
So now we're gonna go on build a date workshop. You and I are going to build our perfect dates. So first we're gonna choose a theme. What is your theme?
ScarJo.
That is not a theme.
She's a theme, all right. Star Trek. I mean, if we're picking a theme, it's got to be, for me, it's got to be Star Trek.
I wanted to say video games just in general.
I mean, you can say that.
But like for me, personally, and I think it would work for Squez because he does like Pokemon. I could choose Pokemon. And so what would like your perfect activity? What snacks would you like to have? Would you dress up? Would you have music?
I would have her wear the slutty 1960s Star Trek uniform, with the short skirts.
All at you.
Yes, Sam, like an inflatable. That's why I said ScarJo, but Winnie yells at me when I say stuff like that. She doesn't like my date ideas.
No, for me, like we could play Pokemon. We could build a Pokemon model kit. I don't know, like other than wearing Pokemon clothes, I don't know exactly what we would do there. We do tend to, I don't know if you know this, if you have the Nintendo Online subscription, there's an app that you can download on the Switch or on your phone that just plays music. That's video game music from whatever they've released.
Nice.
And so, like, you could set it to only Pokemon sounds or songs and play it for the whole thing. Like, you could actually be in Pokemon your whole date night. So that's kind of fun for me.
I just walk in there and be like, I'm gonna fuck that Bulbasaur.
Thank God you can't see him.
Bulba.
The way that the Bulbasaur from Build-A-Bear is constructed, you might be able to.
Like that Bulbasaur's mine. Bulba.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You started it. You started it.
Snacks. I don't think that matters. You know, we could like maybe there's a new we could go to the mall and get like a pretzel or something next to the Build-A-Bear where we're making our own whatever Pokemon they have in Build-A-Bear right now. Like that would be fun, and then you could eat at the food court or whatever. Because I know we're all
food courts. Who remembers those?
we actually have them here. It's crazy. Because I'm like looking at this mall recently that I'm like, oh, this kind of looks like Chapel Hill right before the decline, but like there's a full food court. It's kind of fun. Add a romantic or silly twist. Not gross there for your start.
I'm not making it. I mean, I guess it would be like we have to dress up. You know what I mean? Like not slutty, but just like in cosplay.
Yes, in your red shirt.
Yeah.
You're a red shirt character. No one will ever see again.
They're like, kill me. Just kill me. Vaporize me.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what we would do for Pokemon as a romantic twist.
Bulba.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Take another shot.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll never look at Bulbasaur the same way again.
So we did get some people talking to, or I asked some people randomly about their nerdy date nights, because it feels like even in people that I grew up with, they are nerdy. Like, so I think we should talk about the first one we're going to talk about is Sorrel, I think is who I sent you first.
Yep, I'm bringing it up now.
She met her nerdy boyfriend. I think she said, let me bring that up. I'm sorry if Discord beeps because it doesn't recognize the restream when we do the link as a stream. Wait, where did it go?
I have it up here.
Yeah, so this is Sorrel and her boyfriend Zach. She sent me that this is like their third date. But she said, let me find the message, maybe. Of course, Discord has to update right now. She says, okay, there it is. The first date with Zach was absolutely 1,000% perfect. He took me to an urban Tex-Mex restaurant, which is crazy. They have those. She lives in Washington State. They went to that place, and then we went to the cinema to see. She's half British, so she says things like "you guys, Zam." They went to the cinema. Yeah, to see the newest Marvel film at the time, which was in May 2016, which was Captain America Civil War. Then they had ice cream afterwards. During the entire night, they talked about video games, their favorite Pokemon, their favorite TV shows and anime, and even favorite types of music. She likes country and he likes like alternative rock, so they're kind of very different. She said they ended the night at her doorstep where they kissed goodnight, and it was the most awkward yet perfect goodnight kiss she's ever received. I knew right away he was the one for me.
Oh.
She said this photo is not from the first date, but it is from like the third-ish date, because it's hard for people to find pictures from 10 years before. But she said, I wanted to my focus to be squarely on Zach, so that's why she might not have a picture from that first date. She said she knew something incredibly pivotal was happening in her life that night. And so that picture is from date number 3. That's so sweet.
Aww.
I think it's sweet.
Okay.
And she played, they talked about Pokemon. If you can talk about Pokemon with someone on the first night, that's really good to me, you know? Now we have Lord Donkey's picture with his husband Mike. He sent this in, and they went to a cryptids festival. So it's like they talk about Bigfoot and Mothman and you know, those kind of creatures that could be real, but maybe are not, but maybe are. We don't know. Loch Ness Monster, I believe, till I die, that she's a real thing. But they don't really plan dates, he said, but he said they did enjoy going to this. His husband likes that kind, likes the cryptid stuff. Let me see if I can find that message, because now it's small. Messages. Here he is. He said it's a Cryptids and Curiosities Festival last October. Mike is a big horror nerd, and his shirt has Jason and Michael Myers drinking Dunkin' together, and his was a Stranger Things shirt. We don't plan nerdy dates, but we will go to events like this together, which I think is a really good indication that you're strong with your partner, because sometimes these events can be a lot. You know, I wonder where that was, because that looks fun. But and then the last picture I sent you is of my sweet auntie. Well, not really, but I claim her as my auntie, Danielle, and her fiance, well, now husband. Whoa. They go to Monday Night Raw every time it's in Ohio, every single time. So I included that because it's not necessarily nerdy, but NerdTube loves wrestling. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Like, they decided that they really love wrestling. She's always been a wrestling fan, which is crazy to me. But they literally go every time it's in Cleveland, or every time it's in Ohio, I should say, because I don't know.
The problem is the ticket prices. That's the problem nowadays. The ticket prices have gotten exponentially worse.
Right. So I'm sure they're not in like front row seats or anything.
Yeah. No, they look like they're up. They look like they're probably up quite a bit, which, again, I don't blame people.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'm sure that they don't do anything else for this month, you know, or that month that they bought the tickets. But at the same time, they look fun, like they're having the greatest time. You know, they drive, and they met a wrestler that was in Maryland or something recently. I don't know, some girl. I don't know anything about wrestling. But that's the kind of things that some of our viewers and our friends do for their nerdy dates.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that also brings up a good one I didn't think about earlier, was like theater nerds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that they going to, you know, when on Broadway and stuff like that, and
White House Square.
So, you know, like that yeah, a lot of nerdy stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm. Is there any nerdy? I'm skipping a little bit. Is there any nerdy content that you recommend for couples right now?
Right now?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, a good bridge one has always been Lord of the Rings. A lot of people get into. I'm trying to bring this down here. A lot of people get into Lord of the Rings. It's very secular. It's very approachable, even though it's like a massive franchise and like it still always seems very approachable. You know, Marvel's stuff always just seems so daunting, you know, to get into. You know, same with DC sometimes. Star Wars can also seem very daunting to get into. Star Trek, definitely, because Star Trek has been around for so long and had so much. But yeah, like I think Lord of the Rings is always going to be like the gatekeeper of like nerdy thing, because, as I said, it's just something everybody can kind of get into. Everybody can appreciate it. You know, like, even if you don't love it, you don't hate it. Like, usually somewhere you fall somewhere in the middle.
Okay. I would say, as far, because I'm more of a gamer than anything, like to do it like some sort of co-op game or even Mario Party, because it's not like it's something that you have to be good at. It's just more about being fun, having fun. So like a Mario Party, or back in my day, Wii Games and Sports, which they have
Oh, back in your day.
something like you're just bowling on the TV. Like, it doesn't matter if you're great at it. You're just having fun. Like, but you could see by playing these games and saying, "Oh my gosh, this Wii controller is amazing and all the things that it can do," Or now we have the Switch controller that does all the same things and more. The Switch 2 has a mouse in it now. So like you could be like, "Oh, I didn't know I liked this, but now that I'm playing with this controller and seeing all the things that this can do, I like it,"
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, Switch is always also another really good one. Everybody knows Mario. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows Mario. The Switch is very approachable for outsiders when it comes to the gaming realm, just because it's just like a tablet. Like, with things on the side, if you play it that way. So Nintendo has always been a very approachable console if you're just looking to get in.
If you're new, you, like you said, you like the characters. Everybody, like, you can go to 10 random people on the street and ask them to name a video game character, and even somebody who's 90 will say Mario. I'm 9 times out of 10 they're gonna say Mario.
Yeah. So, if they know nothing about video games, they know Mario.
And so yes, I totally agree with that. That, like, he's easy. He's forgiving. Lots of the games that he plays, even if you're doing one of his any of his platformers, they eventually say, "Hey, you need help with this level?" Like,
except the freaking original ones.
Yes, not the original ones, but like all of the new Super Mario and above, I would say, give you like that. Hey, you seem to be struggling. Do you need these wings to help you not die?
Yep.
So like if you're new, that might be something that helps you, and then you can work on getting better and better and better. Or you can just play the game and get the story and move on. Like, whatever you want to do. I do not care. As long as you want to play it, you play it. Don't care how. For me, there's no like, you're not a real gamer because you use the help. But I just want you to play, and if you like that's my suggestion: is play Mario, play Donkey Kong, play some of those ones that have been around for 100 years. Sonic is quite forgiving. I mean, unless you suck like me at jumping.
I was to say, Sonic is always rough for me for some reason. I don't even know why.
But it's timing the jumps, and I feel like Sonic is different. Like, for some reason, I don't know if the music doesn't match up with the when I'm supposed to jump, or like I just can't do it either.
Yeah, it's just I'm a terrible platformer for sure.
Let's see. Do you have any creators or shops or couples who inspire your dates?
Dates? No, not that I know of.
Let's see. For me, no, I don't think I have any of that either.
Yeah, like, screw other people.
I see some things that some people do in general, like if I'm doom scrolling Facebook or something, and then I might say, "Hey, that looks like a fun idea," but like not like somebody I go to regularly, And shops, I don't know. I mean, other than like
the comic shops and
what?
Comic shops, or
there's that. I was gonna say the Nintendo eShop is kind of fun now because they have like a TikTok version where they show you games, and they're like they show like 30-second video clips of the games, or like their trailers or whatever, and then you can heart them and add them to your wish list from that. Just kind of cool. But they do like it goes by what you like, and so like it's been showing me a lot of co-op games lately. So there's that. I guess that could help. Yeah, but not too much for that. All right. Do you have any final tips or cheat codes for keeping nerdy dates fun and meaningful?
No.
What's wrong with you? I'd say just be there. Have a good attitude and be fun. Have fun. Like, doesn't
Don't
have
be
to be
me.
perfect. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to like just do the thing. You don't have to be good at it. If your partner's worth his salt, then or her salt, then they'll understand that you've never played a first-person shooter before.
And they will promptly tell you how stupid you are.
That only comes after you've been dating for a while. I've noticed. um, but yeah, just have fun. Try to keep it to stuff that you guys like mutually like, or at least can like appreciate. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yep. Keep
Um,
it fun, keep it interesting. Trust your gut. Don't
mhm,
worry about messing things up. Usually the things that mess up the most are usually the most endearing things about a date.
mhm.
Unless you like say something stupid like, "Oh, I like children."
I mean, you can like children and not want children. I don't know. There's another way. Never mind. Okay. So, this is how it always devolves into madness. So we will be back probably in 2 weeks. I'm not sure what the topic for that is. I came up with the last two, so maybe it's Cheeto's turn to come up with.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Um, but yeah, so thank you all for coming. I think I saw Zam and Ginger and Squez and Foo and Sonic and I don't know, a whole bunch of people in the chat today. I'm very grateful that you were here. And participating in the chat. We love to see you. You please join us on all of our things. I'm on YouTube right now, as well as Twitch. I'm also NerdTube is on all the things. Cheeto is Milquetoast Gaming, and he's everywhere. On Twitch, on YouTube, on all the things. So yeah, I am grateful that you all came out today. We will be back, like I said, in 2 weeks. Do you have anything to say?
Nope. I think we're good. Everybody, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.